Okay, how you doing, everybody? Arcader Zero back with another trailer reaction. I'm really excited about this one. It is Ghostbusters, and if you do not know, I am a huge Ghostbusters fan, and I have been since the '70s. Now, you might be saying, "Well, Tom, Ghostbusters came out in the '80s with Bill Murray." Well, Ghostbusters has its origins in the '70s, back when Filmation did a live-action TV show for kids, mainly of these guys going around with wonderful gadgets hunting ghosts, and I thought it was friggin' fantastic. It had one of the funny things about it had a guy named Tracy and someone named Kong. Now, Tracy was actually the gorilla, and Kong was actually the guy. You figure they named the gorilla Kong, but no. But I thought that was kind of cool. So I remember distinctly. I think it was like in a Starlog magazine or Fangoria or something. They said they were going to reboot Ghostbusters in the '80s, and I'm like, well, they're getting Bill Murray, and I think Eddie Murphy was rumored to be in it at the time too, if I remember the story correctly. But so I was a little worried. I was like, oh, they're changing the whole thing. You know, they're not going to have the kooky car and the gorilla. I mean, how can you have Ghostbusters without a gorilla? You know, that was my 12-year-old, 11-year-old me saying that stuff. But obviously, it turned out to be extremely cool. Loved the Ghostbusters. Now, the second movie was kind of, I don't know. It didn't thrill me as much. I still loved it because it had all the cool guys in it, but to me, it had a lot of holes. It was kind of lackluster. I didn't like the fact that ghosts went away and they were just doing parties and everything else. I understood what they were writing at the time, but yeah, I just wasn't as thrilled with it. But then Ghostbusters 2016 came out, which I actually went to the red carpet premiere for that. And I was invited out as a guest of Paul, the director of the movie, and I loved Ghostbusters 2016. I know it got a lot of shit from a lot of people. I think undeservedly, people were bashing it before they even saw the movie, just because it was girls and everything else. But I think it's easily the funniest one. I thought Ghostbusters, the first Ghostbusters in the '80s, was I thought that was the coolest one, because you don't get much cooler than Bill Murray. I mean, but I thought the 2016 was hysterical. I thought Chris Hemsworth friggin' nailed his part. I like how they turned everything on its head, and I thought it was great. Now, the ending of 2016, and I want to clarify this because I see this all the time. Say, oh, it's a reboot. They use different characters. They shouldn't have done that. Ghostbusters 2016 takes place in another dimension. At the end of Ghostbusters 2016, where there's that big dimensional explosion, they find a reel-to-reel tape, and when they're listening to it at the end, they're talking about Gozer, Zool and everything else, and that's Venkman's voice on there. Okay, so they are Ghostbusters, but in another dimension. So just keep that in mind, when you're watching it, because they do mention that in the book. They don't mention it in the. They don't really make it that clear in the movie, but they find it in the cross-dimensional rift, and then that's kind of how they bridge the two universes. And I have a secret hope that the two teams will meet up one day and combine forces. I think that would be way cool, like Avengers style. So I'm going to try and do some fancy editing here to let you know how big of a Ghostbusters fan. I'm going to post some pictures, and if you don't see the pictures, that means my editing was not fancy enough. All right, I'm not that fancy. But I was on a Japanese TV show when I was out in Hollywood. I was on a Japanese TV show posing with the girl who sang the theme song for the Japanese movie in 2016, which was pretty cool. I'll try and post some pictures. You might be seeing it now. If not, you're just seeing me talk, of me out in Hollywood. I've met Dan Aykroyd a few times. Super nice guy. My brother built a harmonica for him, and Dan sent over a nice picture back. Hey, dogs, no barking. Dan Aykroyd sent a nice thank you letter back to my brother Phil, and he's got it framed on his wall and everything, which I thought was pretty cool. So hopefully I got those pictures in there so you guys can see it. But I'm really excited. I can't go on Facebook, and my whole job is being on Facebook. My daytime job is monitoring social media for clients. but I haven't been on all day, so I haven't done any work yet today. Because I got to see the Ghostbusters trailer, and I didn't want any spoilers. So without any further ado, I gotta see this. All right, here we go. Very excited. Don't fuck it up. I'm sure they won't. They do a great job.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
Honestly, my mom won't say it, but we're completely broke. And the only thing that's left in our name is this creepy old farmhouse our grandfather left us in the middle of nowhere. Why'd you bring me up here?
Entertainment value?
What is that?
I don't know.
That's cool.
Somehow, a town that isn't anywhere near a tectonic plate, that has no fault lines, no fracking, no loud music even, is shaking on a daily basis.
Paul Rudd is awesome.
Hey, remember that one summer we died under a table?
I found this in my living room.
Whoa, killer replica.
A replica of what?
A ghost trap? There hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years. New York in the 80s? It's like The Walking Dead. Your dad never mentioned this to you?
It's just my mom.
I got the PKE meter.
My grandfather died. My mom says we're just here to pick through the rubble of his life.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Call it fate. Call it luck. Call it karma. I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
Come on, darling.
It has a gunner seat?
Slimer. Oh, that looks cool. That looks way cool. I am a let's stop this here. There's so many little references in there that I'm geeking out over. First part hit me right in the feels. You know, they didn't have any money, they lost everything. Nobody knows my story, but I've gone through a similar situation. I lost everything to keep my wife alive, but so it kind of hits me right in the heart. But it looks fantastic. I know Slimer's going to be all CGI now, but I'm friends with the girl who played Slimer, Robin Shelby. Super nice woman, so super nice. Oh, so much to engage. I got to watch it a few more times. But what did you guys think? I think it looks fantastic. I think it looks like a really good, throwback and to the '80s movies, since it's actually set in the same dimension as the original. But the fact that Paul Rudd knew what a ghost trap was and everything. At first, I was thinking maybe they just knew it was a movie or something. But no, it looks good. I'm very excited. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. If you can, subscribe. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll be getting more content, and I've got some other plans for the new year to, keep the content train rolling and everything else. I appreciate everybody who watches my videos, and if you make a comment, I do my very best to respond to each and every single comment that's down there, unless you're an asshole about it. There hasn't been many. Like 99.9%, everybody's been very cool. Well, thanks everybody. Now I'm going to try and edit this video and do some fancy editing, and put pictures in it and everything. Hopefully I do a good job. All right, thanks everybody. Super psyched, Ghostbusters coming out. I am a huge Ghostbusters fan. Look at my Ghostbusters pictures. Thank you, everybody.